Thanks for staying with us. So, an internet personality, Ismaila Mustapha, popularly known as Mompha, who is facing a 32 billion naira fraud charge, was rearrested last week by EFCC. According to reports, days after the arrest, he is yet to be arraigned or granted administrative bail, as a matter of fact. He has filed also a 5 million suit against the EFCC for unlawful arrest and detention. Joining us on the show to discuss this and many others is the newly appointed EFCC Zonal Head in Lagos, Abdulrasheed Bawa. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Now you're in Lagos. I know you're in Port Harcourt and Ibadan. But how has it been in Lagos so far?
I'm in Lagos. I'm back home. Lagos is my home. I have worked here previously on 2 different occasions.
Wow. Wow. Fantastic. Now, let's start with Mompha, who was rearrested last week. And now, obviously, he's initiating a suit against the EFCC, saying that he was wrongfully arrested. Could you tell us exactly why he was arrested last week, Friday?
Well, I don't want to say that Mompha was rearrested, but rather I would say that he is arrested for a different matter entirely.
Oh, okay.
As you are aware, we have it is widely reported that we arrested him in October last year, and in November we charged him to court. That matter is still ongoing, as you said in your introduction. 32 billion naira matter is already before Honorable Justice A.M. Liman. He was arrested again last week for another matter entirely, and we are investigating that, and very soon Nigerians will know about the matter.
Okay, so a lot of people, so it was good that you have just cleared that up, because the story is that he had gone back to pick up his personal effects that were taken from him, and the court had said that since those things were not part of the evidence against him, they should be returned to him. So that arrest, would it have been made if he had not shown up to pick up his items, and that is also the reason why he's also suing you for 5 million?
Well, certainly he will be arrested. I mean, he will be arrested again because of the facts that are before us, new facts that are before us in respect of his activities. So he was arrested after he came for his items or anywhere else within Nigeria, outside Nigeria, it's a different matter entirely.
Okay, so we've had challenges of people getting arrested and not being arraigned immediately, you know. So
yes.
Now he's been arrested, but he wasn't arraigned immediately. And from what you said the investigation is still ongoing. Since investigations were still ongoing, shouldn't we arrest when we have hardcore evidence against him concerning what is done, so that immediately you arrest him, he goes to court concerning these new charges, as opposed to arresting him and keeping him till you conclude investigations?
Doesn't he have access to bail?
Well, to start with, he has been granted bail. We have started him with bail conditions, and I believe anytime soon he would fulfill, once he fulfills the bail conditions, he's going to be released. Okay. On the issue of people being charged immediately after being arrested, that is not the case. EFCC is part of our own strategic issue for us to have what we call intelligence-led investigation, in which, of course, facts are being gathered, and before a person is arrested, for him to now speak his own side of the story. But in cases like this, at times you want to hear from that person. And once somebody has given his statement or during the course of the interview, other leads may emerge that the facts that you have before an arrest can be different from the fact that you have, because somebody can come and raise some alibis as well. And those alibis are supposed to be investigated as well, so that we know that we have, you know, a tight case before any court of law that will eventually charge.
Right. Okay, now, so let's setting Mompha aside for a moment, because, I mean, it's good that we have you here. We have so many questions relating to EFCC, Yahoo, here, especially in Lagos. Lots of families have been worried about the fact that boys just get mopped up. You know, once you have a laptop, you are suspect. So my question, therefore, is how does EFCC begin to start to identify where to find these boys? And how do you know that you got the right boys? We see this all the time, that EFCC or the police just rams up people together and say they're Yahoo Yahoo boys.
Well, that's not true. Intelligence gathering, surveillance activities, collaboration with sister agencies within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. That is how we get to know about these cyber criminals. As you are aware, just this Saturday, we went to a short-let apartment in Lekki area, and we arrested 37 Nigerians, including a serving military personnel. On bringing them back to our office, we screened them, we were able to interview them, and we were able to determine that 9 of them are not involved in cyber criminal activities, and they were promptly released. The 28 remaining arrested Nigerians are still, undergoing some certain investigative processes in our office. And once we conclude that, of course, Nigerians will get to know. Of course, we are going to charge them to court. We don't bundle people from our office to the prison, to the correctional services facilities. No, we go to court, we arraign you, we file our own evidences, and of course, we present our case. And then, of course, the defendant opened his own defense, through his choosing counsel. And then, of course, the court decides whether or not somebody is guilty or not.
Okay.
So the idea that anybody with a laptop is a suspect, I believe that you have a laptop too. I have a laptop. I have a laptop, but are we cyber criminals? No, we are not. So it is only on the basis of intelligence and, of course, verified intelligence that we tend to arrest and, of course, charge to court.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
So, I'm very curious to find out if it is more, if it is tougher to prosecute cyber crimes and cyber criminals in Nigeria, especially with like high-profile cases. And I want to use this in comparison. We would hear about our Nigerian-based cyber criminals being immediately investigated, arrested, and jailed. But it seems to take longer in Nigeria, or they get in and then they get out. What could be the issue or the problem, or what are we misunderstanding here?
I think that has to do with a lot of challenges that we have with our administration of criminal justice. ADJA has done a lot of wonders, has made a lot of improvement in the administration of criminal justice in Nigeria. If you are familiar with, for instance, I think the provision of Section 396 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, it made provision of adjournment of cases for 14 days, that adjournment should only be taken, in 14 days' time. But that is not possible with the dockets of the judges in this country. Because you will see a judge is having about 1,000 cases in his docket. How is he going to grant 14 days adjournment for each of the cases? It's not possible for him to do that. So we have that challenge. We have a lot of challenge, even though ADJA had come with the provision. I think section, I can't remember the section, that defendants or lawyers should not challenge the charges, but then of course they will come and be challenging the jurisdiction of the court. They will find a way of challenging some of these things, but I think we'll get there. The criminal justice administration in Nigeria is still being worked on, is being improved. We are learning every day in court, and of course I believe that certain amendments are going to be made to be able to expedite these cases in court.
Right.
Okay, sir. You already highlighted the challenges with the litigation process and how judiciary slows the corruption fight, but there's heavy media
I did not
trial.
say that the judiciary slows the corruption fight. I'm saying that the administration of criminal justice, the laws there, their lawyers are there, they are exploring it, and of course, that is where we find ourselves.
Okay, so it's fast with them. you just said that the judges have a lot of things on their dockets, and so it makes it impossible for them to carry out the 14-day adjournment. But I really don't want us to dwell too much on that. We know the challenges with the judiciary. I want us to talk about the media trial and how extensive media trials takes place before any, before official arraignment of criminals. Like it's all over the media space. How do the newspaper get this information? How do they know the charges that are being worked on? Because we read in the papers detailed information about this person is arrested, what happened, and then there was no case that has been officially instituted against that person, but the person has been painted black in the papers. So from your own perspective, where is the gap? Should the media have information about a case before it is taken to court?
No, maybe we have effective investigative journalists nowadays. Maybe that is why they are having that information. But be it as it may, trials are only happening in court. And that is where we are charging these people, and that is where the court is deciding whether or not they are guilty or not. On the issue of media trial, of course, now EFCC as an organization will have the responsibility to tell Nigerians what we are doing. If people are manipulating that to now sensationalize it, that yes, you have done this, you are guilty, or this, we can see that you are guilty. It's only the court of law that says that you are guilty. And I think the public enlightenment thing that we are doing, people are misconstruing it to be that as if we are trying these people on the pages of newspapers. And of course, Nigerians need to know what we are doing. We are obliged by our act to tell Nigerians what we are doing, and that is what we are doing. Other information are coming. Incidentally, we have had a lot of cases whereby it is the defendant themselves or the suspect themselves that are talking to the media, not the EFCC.
Okay, let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So we still have our guests with us. Sir, I've been very concerned about this issue of media trial because we find out that quite a number of these cases are not airtight. And then many of these accused or allegations, they get off based on technicalities. So my worry is that it seems as though we get all these hula baloo on the media pages, and at the end of the day, the person walks free. Or even if he's convicted, gets what maximum. Recently, we had Aboji Uzokalu. He was accused of some mismanagement, I believe. Yes. And then 2 months, he was out and was received with a lot of celebration. So the point is that, for me, I worry that the entire process, how airtight is it? Do you really have cases against these people who have stolen the funds of our people?
Aboji Uzokalu was not released, or his case was not discharged as a result of media trial. We had a watertight case. We charged him to court. The trial went on for about 12 years. But while the trial was going on, the Federal High Court judge that was handling the matter was elevated to the Court of Appeal. And based on the celebrated provisions of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, he came and concluded the case. But they charged, they appealed the judgment on the grounds that a sitting Court of Appeal judge cannot go and sit as a Federal High Court judge to deliver, and the Supreme Court aligned with them. But we are going back. We are going back to the High Court to file fresh charges against him, and we'll continue the trial. And God willing, justice will be done. That is on that. On the issue of media trial that you are saying about, go and check the statistics. We have 99% success rate on all the cases that we charge to court. So if you are losing 1 and 2 out of 100, at least we have gotten an A based on our actions in court. Okay. So we are not seeing it that way. It's not about media trial. It's and let us even be specific. Can you mention a case, a simple case regarding this media trial that you are talking about? If you are talking about EFCC, right. I can challenge anybody that we have 99% success rate in court. And it is there, the statistics are there to show for it.
Okay,
so Mariam mentioned something during the banter concerning the caliber of lawyers, and how you also mentioned that Aboji Uzokalu's lawyers were able to say that the courts, you can't be in Court of Appeal and all this stuff, and Supreme Court supported them. The fact that a few allegedly corrupt people are powerful enough to employ 10 SANs, 20 SANs to sort of keep finding a way to slow the process of getting justice, and they find that technicality that would help their client escape. What is the EFCC doing to, what's the caliber of lawyer, number one? What is EFCC doing to empower their lawyers to be able to effectively stand in trial against these big wigs? And how effective has it been?
Well, I'm happy that you mentioned technicalities, not the ingredient of the offense or the facts that we have before the court. I'm happy that you mentioned that. That means we have watertight cases in court. Now, secondly, we have been engaging external lawyers, of course, but generally with due respect to the senior lawyers, in the country, we have a very good young lawyers within the commission that are doing wonders, because it's about criminal litigation, and they have been well trained on that, and they are doing success. They are getting success for us in court. The Ojuzo Kalu case that you mentioned was prosecuted, for us by Mr. Rotimi Jacobs, a senior advocate of Nigeria. So we're working on that. We're working with the senior lawyers as well. They're helping us on some of these cases, as well as our own, internal lawyers.
Right. Mr. Abdul-Rashid Bawa, I just would like to also find, you definitely, EFCC definitely must have a lot of challenges, but do you believe that there's corruption within?
Come back again, must have what?
A lot of challenges that you're dealing with, but do you believe that corruption can be found within the EFCC, and could that be one of your major challenges?
Well, certainly, we are not angels. We are not angels. There are some bad elements within the system, but they are negligible elements. We are fishing them out. We are charging them to court as well when gotten. We need the help of Nigerians, those that are corrupting them, and those that knows about their acts. Let them, come forward with those information, and you are going to see what we are going to do and what we have been doing with the corrupt element within the system. I believe, majority of Nigerians were Muslims and were Christian as well, and we believe in God. But that is why angels are being sent to this world to preach what is good and what is right.
Let me ask
that doesn't mean that everybody is agreeing to that, regardless of an issue of either being corrupt or not being corrupt.
Let me ask you about selective trials. Many people believe, because the average Nigerian feels, listen, if you want corrupt people, they can count them 1, 2, 3, 4, like they're all around us. So they feel that because of the party in power or so, that EFCC is being selective on who they are prosecuting or who is being brought forward. Could you say a few things on that? Could you react to that, please?
Well, within the short life of the EFCC, which is just 17 years, we have always been accused of that. When a certain party was in power, we have been accused of selective justice. But we are able to tell them that the party that was in power at the beginning of the life of the EFCC were able to investigate serving ministers of that government, of that party. We were able to investigate senators. We were able to even investigate Senate president of that party, and they were charged to court and all of that. Now another party is in power. People are still accusing us of that. But then they are not saying that Joshua Darie and the other governor that were convicted, are members of the current governing party or ruling party. People always talk. If it is in your favor, you will not say it. If it is against you, you will be saying it. But EFCC is for Nigeria, it's for all Nigeria. We are striving to do our best based on the mandate that is being given to us to rid this country of economic and financial crimes.
Okay.
There's a particular case that a lot of Nigerians want to know where it's headed, where we are right now, and it is the many allegations against Mrs. Deziani. Please, could you give us a little bit on what is happening with that case? Did she commit these crimes? Have they recovered these things, the things that she's been accused of? Is she by any way going to be extradited? What is happening?
Well, we are working on her extradition through the Central Authority Unit. It has been widely reported that the EFCC have recovered a lot of proceeds of crime from the former Minister of Petroleum Resources and her associates. We have recovered and forfeited about 82 properties belonging to her in Nigeria alone. These properties, the value of these properties are over 80 million United States dollars. We have recovered the sum of $153 million from her associates and from herself as well. All these are forfeited for the benefit of Nigerians. So we are working on that. The matter is still ongoing. We can't say that she is guilty, but we are suspecting that she has committed certain offenses that are within our mandate that we are working on.
So when we hear that she's being protected by international communities, we have this. There's an allegation. There's that out there that she has this diplomatic immunity somewhat. How is that working? So especially with you and international agencies, how are you working seamlessly to ensure that when we have alleged criminals abroad, they can actually be brought home without any glitches?
Well, I don't. She has never been a diplomat, so she will not have diplomatic immunity. I know. I don't want to talk on their behalf, but I believe that law enforcement agencies in the country where she is currently is working on their own case, against her, and we are doing also our best here. We have an extradition treaty with them, and we are working to explore that to see that justice is done at the end of the day.
Okay, we have to go on. We have to go. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up at this time. But thank you. We're happy that you're in Lagos, Mr. Abdurrashid. We'll be calling you often
Yes.
We'll be calling you often to come to the show to give us updates on what's going on, because we're happy that we have access to you now.
You are free. It's a public office.
Oh, very good.
My numbers are available. Come and you can have a further chat.
We'll put your number on speed dial. We'll be calling you, sir. Thank you very much. We'll be speaking with the newly appointed zonal head in Lagos, Abdurashid Bawa of the EFCC. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
You can watch Your View on TVC every Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Nigerian time on DSTV channel 418, GOTV channel 27 and channel 47, StarTimes channel 121 and channel 307, Play TV channel 801 and channel 190, UHF 49, Sky channel 515 for UK viewers. Watch live on Facebook at TVC Connect and on our website tvcentertainment.tv/livestream.